Okay, I'm here with Alan Richardson after the win against Essex. Alan, the Worcester boys are happy.
It's been a little while coming. Like to think that we've stayed really nice and positive throughout, but it is, I think, like I said in the lead up to the game, one of the many reasons and the main reason really for the guys to play cricket is to win games. That winning feeling is after a hard fought game is really good for them. So yeah, it is nice, and it's a happier changing room that has been over the last couple of weeks.
What would you identify as the main factor in winning this one?
Well, getting more runs than them and bowling them out cheaper than us. I think for us, not much has changed, if I'm honest. I think without a shadow of a doubt, that first innings of the game was a huge part of us winning the game, but I just think it was a really good team effort and something that we've continued to try and do throughout. We haven't really changed anything too much about how we go about our cricket, but kept the belief and the trust in what we do is the right things. We've had a couple of close games which we haven't quite got over, over the winning post, but it's nice to get over a good win for this one.
It wasn't an easy pitch to bat on from the start of the game. We said in commentary on the first morning that if a partnership is formed, it's really important that it the players in that partnership perhaps realise how important that is. In that first innings, you had three significant partnerships, almost that were bigger than any other in the whole game. Do you think that was really where it turned in that second half of your first innings?
I think so. Yeah, we look at it, and I think 350 would have been above par on that wicket. So to get as far ahead as we did do in that first innings was a crucial part of that. And as you said, as a team, it was huge. We had Cash, Rob Jones, Ethan Brooks, Matthew Waite, Tommy Taylor, Benny Allison all contributed towards getting towards that total. And I think we appreciated that it was a wicket where you never probably truly felt in. And there probably wasn't going to be one individual go on and get a huge score, but it was going to have to be a real team effort. And the boys went and did that really well.
It didn't really change, did it, the wicket?
No, not at all. And I think that was, we had a discussion when it looked like, we might be able to enforce a follow-on about what we wanted to do. And I think when we look at follow-on, enforcing the follow-on, it's if you think the wicket's just going to get better and better. So by the time you bat on it last, it would be the best time to bat. Or if you're going to run out of time, and neither of those things really applied for us. We didn't think it was going to get any better. It was an opportunity to rest the bowlers and to try and force an advantage as much as we could. And I think probably after the first innings, the second innings, Essex bowled really well and put so much pressure on us with seam and spin. So it was a fair effort from the boys just to make sure that we got as far ahead as we could.
I know you don't really like picking out individuals, but nice to win. Nice for Rob Jones to get some runs after he's been struggling. I thought Ethan Brooks' contribution, catching, batting, a couple of wickets as well, and obviously Matthew Waite, outstanding.
Yeah, I think throughout last season it was always a big team effort, and it won't change this year. And like you say, we were in the changing rooms trying to acknowledge as many people as we could, and I think there's a lot of people contributed to that win. That will change from game to game in terms of how they make that impact. But those players that you mentioned, certainly, I think, like we say, first innings and second innings, Cash made some really valuable contributions. Rob Jones, it was fantastic. He's had a tough start to the season, but the games that he's played on have been testing wickets. It was no different here, but he applied himself, as he always does, really well. And then those lower innings runs for us are really important, something that we take great pride on. We haven't been able to probably do that as well as we'd like at the start of the season, but certainly those contributions down the back end from those guys that batted 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, even Yadi just trying to hang around for a little while was really crucial to us. And I thought we caught really well in the slips, which is a huge part of it. You don't want to have to try and create 26, 27 chances. If you can take as many as possible, it's really important.
Matthew Waite, obviously career best today with the ball, got a 6 for also highest score in the game. It's a heck of an all-round performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he's been really good all season. I think he was slightly disappointed coming off the Hove performance from him, but we know that that's not always going to be the case. He worked really hard at his game, as always, throughout the week, made sure he was in the best possible state as he could be. The way that he controls the game with the ball for us is really important, and then just the way that he bats at 7 or 8 is, again, it has such a contributing factor to our success. So he keeps it really simple, but he plays really well. It's really good to watch, isn't it, when it gets going? And so even two contrasting innings. His partnership today with Ethan was really important. He only scored 8 out of 45 in a long time, but it shows that he can adapt and and play the situation that's in front of him.
Gareth Roderick equalled the record for the number of dismissals for a Worcestershire wicketkeeper.
That's something that we missed out there.
Shares that with Stephen Rhodes and Ben Cox, 9. I thought he might get one of the last 2 and actually break that record. Most dismissals in a match. It's undemonstrative wicket-keeping, isn't it? But he's just so efficient, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. It's what I always like with the keepers, really. You don't know that they're there, and Gareth certainly does that really well in terms of he's incredibly tidy. It's a real nice hub for the team. You know, he keeps the energy nice and high. He's got a real good cricketing brain, and it's a challenging job for him because he's opening the batting as well. So yeah, he's got a really level head about him. He knows his cricket and he goes about his job really well.
First win back here on Friday against Warwickshire. Are you expecting the pitch to be similar? Because it probably will be. One would have thought, given that the Durham one and this one were like that.
Yeah, again, Stephen and his team are working incredibly hard, but we've gone through a lot this year in terms of their preparation and lack of it. So yeah, we'll see where it gets to. I know that he's put a lot of work into this one again, so we'll see where we get to and have a look at it probably on Wednesday and Thursday just before we head out on Friday.
As ever, Alan, congratulations and thanks for your time.
Cheers, Frank.
Just finally, before we finish, we've had some good numbers for the Doors over the last few days. It's felt like a really good atmosphere here at New Road. How much difference does that make to you and the team?
A huge difference. I think all the way through it's been an amazing atmosphere. Friday was really good. It was. I know that the Worcester public have been starved of first-class cricket a little bit. We've played 4 of our first 5 games away, and the Durham game only lasted 2 days. So their support is incredibly important for us. It's really nice to see quite a few of them out on the road, but to be back at home and playing in front of a really good crowd, and something that I always appreciated as a player and now as a coach is how much of the support that we get from the members. So yeah, it's been really nice to put on a show for
This
them.
is Mike the plasterer. He needs a trusted supplier for his materials and tools. Mike needs Profile Store. With an easy-to-use website, you can check stock online, order it and collect it within the hour. Profile Store offer free delivery over £125 and fast overnight shipping. With over 2,000 products in stock, they're sure to have what you need. So get yourself down to the trade counter in Kidderminster today. Get the job done with profilestore.co.uk.